All right, college football and stuff here, week 8 of the college football season. I am going to be covering all of the Group and 5 and Independents playing this week. All right, I'm going to jump right into it. We got a ton of G5 and Independents playing. We have some of our West Coast teams that had not played yet are playing this week, so a bunch of games to go over. Starting off on Thursday, we have Arkansas State at App State. Two good teams. 7:30 on ESPN2. App State, a 12-point favorite. I think they're probably the better team. They haven't played in almost a month, though. Had a few games postponed or canceled, I think. Weird schedule. Thursday night, Arkansas State has been playing people close. Give me Arkansas State plus those 12. If for no other reason than App State has had this long break, and we'll see if Arkansas State can come out and surprise them a little bit. I think App State wins, but yeah, give me Arkansas State plus those 12 points. Friday night, Jacksonville State at Florida International, 7 o'clock on ESPN3. FIU, a 10.5-point favorite. And again, Jack State, a decent FCS team, but give me FIU to cover those 10.5 points. Then also on Friday, Tulsa at South Florida, 7:30 on ESPN. Tulsa, a 10.5-point favorite. I've liked Tulsa this season. Give me Tulsa minus those 10.5. And we have Louisiana Laffayette, the Ragin' Cajuns, at UAB, 8 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Really not sure about this game. I think this is going to be an excellent game. The spread and ESPN's FPI both agree with me there. UAB, a 1-point favorite. So, yes, like essentially the absolute definition of a pick'em game. Whoever you think is going to win this game, bet them against the spread because the spread does not matter. I really wasn't sure, though. Louisiana has been good. UAB has been good. I am a little bit biased towards UAB. I like their coach. I'm a fan of UAB. So I'm taking them -1 here, but really, I mean, I think this is going to be a good game, and it can go either way. Moving on to Saturday, Georgia Southern at Coastal Carolina, 12 o'clock on ESPNU. Coastal Carolina has been doing good for me. Now, Georgia Southern has been playing people really close. This was tough. There's been a lot of 3-point games with Georgia Southern. The spread is under a touchdown, though. I like Coastal Carolina. Give me Coastal Carolina minus those 6.5. Mercer at Army, 12 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. No spread in this game. Army's going to win that game. Temple at Memphis, 12 o'clock on ESPN+. Memphis, a 13.5-point favorite. Now, Temple didn't look great, but Memphis isn't the team they were last year or the year before. I think Memphis wins this, but give me Temple to cover that spread. I'm taking Temple plus the 13.5 there. UTEP at Charlotte, 12 o'clock, also on ESPN+. Charlotte, a 14.5-point favorite. Now, UTEP has been better than they were last year. They have been the past few years, have won a few games, have played some people close. But I think Charlotte is kind of a sneaky good team. I would like this a lot more if it was just under 2 touchdowns instead of just over, but give me Charlotte minus those 14.5. Southern Miss at Liberty, 1 o'clock on ESPN3. Liberty a 10.5 point favorite. Now again, Southern Miss is a team that started off rough, lost that game to South Alabama, has looked better and better as the season has gone on. I think Liberty has enough offensive weapons, though. Give me Liberty minus those 10.5. I could see Southern Miss making a game of this, but I would, again, this is just over what I would want the spread to be. If this was just under 10 points, I'd feel a lot better about it, but I'm taking Liberty minus those 10.5. Tulane at UCF, 2 o'clock on ESPN2. UCF a 19.5 point favorite, and I mean, UCF has been pretty good. They definitely aren't as good this season as they were last season, the season before. I have liked Tulane. I'm going to take Tulane plus those 19.5. I don't know if Tulane can get the win here, but I think Tulane makes a game of it. I think this spread should be a lot closer to 10 points, personally. Florida Atlantic at Marshall, 2:30, and for some reason, I don't think this game was on a network, which kind of surprised me. Marshall has been playing well. People generally like to watch them. Marshall, a 17.5 point favorite, and I am going to take them to cover. I've liked Marshall. Marshall has done well for me when I have picked them. So yeah, give me Marshall minus those 17.5. Middle Tennessee at Rice, 3:30 on ESPN3. This is Rice's first game. Middle Tennessee has not been great, but has been playing people pretty close. Don't know what we're going to get from Rice. I am going to go with sort of the known quantity here. I think Rice wins this game. I could see them winning by a field goal, though. I think the 3.5 is just a tiny bit too much. Give me Middle Tennessee plus the 3.5. Houston at Navy, 3:30 on the CBS Sports Network. Houston, a 13.5 point favorite. Now, would never go out and bet against one of these service academies. I don't really believe in it, but I think this Houston matchup doesn't work well for them. They have struggled with teams that have passed the ball well. Picking against the spread here, I would take Houston minus the 13.5. Georgia State at Troy, 4 o'clock on ESPNU. Troy, a 2.5 point favorite. This was a tough one. If this was over 3 points, I would like it a lot more because I'm taking Georgia State plus the points. Georgia State has played a bunch of people close. I could see them getting a win here. I could also see Troy winning by a field goal and covering this. But yeah, I'm taking Georgia State minus the 2.5. Or plus the 2.5. Sorry. Chattanooga at Western Kentucky, 4 o'clock on ESPN3. Western Kentucky, a 14.5 point favorite. I am taking Western Kentucky to cover that spread. Haven't seen Chattanooga play. I don't think they're going to be a great team. I don't think Western Kentucky is great, but I think they're decent. Yeah, give me Western Kentucky minus those 14.5. Louisiana Monroe at South Alabama, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. South, a 14.5 point favorite. Kind of surprised by that. Now, I like South. I think they're a good team, but Louisiana Monroe has played some teams pretty close. If this was under 2 touchdowns, I would probably take South to cover. but just over 2 touchdowns. Give me Louisiana Monroe plus those 14.5. Utah State at Boise State. Two of these teams we haven't seen play yet. 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Boise State, a 16.5 point favorite. Wasn't sure about this game. Utah State has been decent some of these past years. Boise State has also been decent. I looked back at last year. Boise State blew Utah State away. Give me Boise State minus these 16.5. But again, first time we're seeing these teams play. Who knows what happens in that game. Wyoming at Nevada. 7 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. Wyoming, a 4.5 point favorite. I don't think Nevada is going to be great. I don't think Wyoming is going to be great, but I think they'll be okay. Give me Wyoming minus those 4.5. Hawaii at Fresno State. 7:30. Again, I didn't see a channel for this one. Hawaii, the underdog in this game, actually. Now, Fresno State has been pretty good. They're a 4.5 point favorite, but Hawaii is one of those teams that will score points on people. I think the 4.5 is just a little bit too much. I would like this a lot better for Fresno State if it was more like 3 points. Just under 3 points. But yeah, give me Hawaii plus those 4.5. I think they make a game of that. La Tech at UTSA. 8 o'clock on ESPNU. La Tech, a 2.5 point favorite. Now, La Tech is good, but man, UTSA has impressed me. They have played good teams really close. They have kept several teams from covering. It's at UTSA. It would be really nice to see them get a win here. I'm going to take them plus the 2.5 there. Cincinnati at SMU, 9 o'clock on ESPN2, and SMU a 2.5 point favorite, and I think that's the wrong team favored here. SMU has been okay, but I don't think they've been amazing. And I think Cincy is the best of these G5 teams. Give me Cincy plus those 2.5. I think Cincy wins it straight out, though. I don't think they need the points. Texas State at BYU, 10:15 on ESPN. BYU a 28.5 point favorite. They've done well against people playing at home at night, been putting up a ton of points. I'm going to take BYU to cover that. So give me BYU minus the 28.5 there. University of Las Vegas at San Diego State. 10:30 on the CBS Sports Network. San Diego State a 15.5 point favorite. Don't really have a lot of faith in UNLV. Give me SDSU minus the 15.5. Last up, we have Airforce at San Jose State, 10:30 on Fox Sports 1. San Jose is one of those teams that a few years ago had a really nice running back, a really good running game, did really well. But Airforce, just under a touchdown. They've got a good passing game. They put up a ton of points on Navy earlier in the season. Give me Airforce to cover that. I'm taking Airforce minus the 6.5. All right, that is it for the independents playing this week. Again, if you like this video, click the like button. If you're enjoying these, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep making them. I'll see you next time.